was considered to be one of the world's greatest watercolor artists. He was born and raised in Hungary in the early 1900s. He received his formal art training in Austria and Germany under the artistic guidance of Professor Pack and Kogman. He also attended a military school similar to that of the United States Army West Point Academy. In 1924, he joined the Hungarian army as a commissioned officer and rose to the ranks of lieutenant colonel. His job was with the War Ministry Division, and he was in charge of fortification. Buday managed to escape the Iron Curtain, the impending takeover of Hungary by communistic forces in 1944 caused Buday and his wife Elizabeth to flee to Germany. Buday stated that he was lucky to reach the Bavarian mountains of Germany, the reason being that it was a region that was occupied by the United States Third Army. He and his wife lived in a suburb near Munich, Germany. Buday was able to practice the art of painting with a commercial artist in Germany. In 1949, he and his wife moved to the United States. He enrolled and graduated from the famous artist school in West Point, Connecticut. One of its most recognized alumni was Norman Rockwell. Rene Buday's wife, Elizabeth, was fortunate enough to land a job in Georgia at Shorter College as a music instructor. Shorter College, now Shorter University, was equally fortunate, for she was a pianist who had graduated from Franz Liszt Royal Academy of Music and completed postgraduate work at Mozarteum in Salzburg, Austria. She was also on the faculty of Christian Music Hochschule in Rosenberg, Germany. Rene became employed with a chemical company before he and his wife both entered into Florida State University in Tallahassee, where he went on to earn a master's degree in business administration. From there, he became treasurer in charge of finances at the Darlington School, a co-ed boarding school located in Rome, Georgia. It was at that time that his wife, Elizabeth, worked at Shorter College. In his spare time, he studied and worked on his passion, art. He continued to enroll in numerous correspondence courses and attended workshops whenever possible. He attended workshops with such artist masters as Milford Zorns, Tony Van Hasselt, and Zoltan Sabo. He would stay up late at night in attempts to perfect his technique and style of painting. He traveled back and forth to Europe on several occasions to attend workshops. The style of art that Rene Buday is known for is en plein air. It is a phrase that was borrowed from the French, which means open air. It is particularly used to describe the art of painting outdoors. The three artists that appear to have influenced Buday the most are Milford Zorn, Zoltan Sabo, and Tony Van Hasselt. Milford Zorn lived from 1908 to 2008. He lived in Oklahoma, California, and Utah. He is world famous in the world of art. His specialty was watercolor and landscape and marine painting. Zoltan Sabo lived from 1928 to 2003. He lived in Hungary, Canada, and North Carolina. He was a great watercolor artist and wrote several books. He taught many workshops in America and throughout the world. He too was world famous in the world of art, especially in watercolor painting. Tony Van Hasselt was born in the Netherlands. He attended art school in New York. He organized workshops throughout the world with artists that he admired. He has written several articles in many magazines and has authored several instruction books on the subject of watercolor. He is world renowned in his art, which is sold all over the world. Rene Buday specialized in traditional landscapes and still life paintings, and he occasionally ventured off into abstract painting. Buday was quoted as saying, "Abstract painting allows you to use your mind more than other types of works." Most of his art was done with watercolors and acrylics. Buday used many different styles, which generated a tremendous amount of interest in his works. Buday was quoted as saying, "I think the bright colors in my paintings have helped them to become accepted. Buday used to try to completely visualize a painting before he began working. A pencil sketch of the subject was the first step, which was transferred to the material that was to be painted. He would always paint with watercolors and acrylics and never with oil. I do not use oils myself, but I think an artist should use all mediums for expressions. And he further stated, oil is the most popular type of painting. In addition to landscapes and still life, Buday has painted pictures of some of the homes in the southeastern United States. Some of his works are images of his native Hungary. Although Buday was proud of his Hungarian ancestry, he claimed to have never had any regrets about leaving and making America his new home. He lived in Rome, Georgia, for the majority of his life. He was opposed to what was the oncoming control of communism of his homeland. He loved his homeland. A country is made of its people, and they are not the same when I lived there. He goes on and further states, capitalism, even with its faults, is 100% better economically and politically than communism. In closing, Rene Buday has presented many one-man shows and participated in many exhibits. He was known for his philanthropic work. Rene Buday established a scholarship fund for young artists, and some of the proceeds of some of his highly sought-after artwork. He was one of the world's greatest artists and humanitarian. His wife, Elizabeth, was also a great artist who taught and performed in the southeastern region of the United States. The Budays escaped the Iron Curtain, ventured to America, and lived and enjoyed full lives. Rene Buday transitioned this life in 1987 and his wife Elizabeth in 2005. He will always be remembered as one of the greatest watercolor artists of all times. All of the drawings and paintings that were shown in this documentary that were produced by Rene Buday are for sale. We would prefer to sell the entire collection to a single purchaser, which consists of 18 drawings and 24 paintings. We will be taking offers on the entire collection. We're asking all interested parties to submit your bids online to the following email address, and we will notify all interested parties of the results of your offers. This auction will no longer accept bids after the satisfactory offer has been made and accepted. Thank you for your interest.